Yeah, so my name is René. I'm the innovation manager at the auto company VAUDE. So we are located in the south of Germany, close to the Lake Constance, and a beautiful surrounding, as you can see on the picture. So we're 100% family owned, which it's still a bit special, or which is nowadays a bit special because most of our competitors, there are private equity owned companies. So we are still 100% family owned, meaning also we do have also here quite a need to have a long-lasting, sustainable business here. We do have about 500 employees, where a lot of employees also working in part-time, also like myself, to have a good work-life balance, especially when taking care of family members. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, so what are we doing? So we doing more or less everything from apparel over tents to footwear for mountain sports, bike sports, and for urban outdoor, so leisure wear in this case, with highly functional fabrics and highly functional plastic parts. So we do have a lot of plastics in our products. We also have a few of natural materials in, but due to the performance we need, it's mainly plastic, and that's also why we are now in this call here. Next slide, please. So our markets, they are worldwide, but we are focusing mainly on the German market, which is our core market, and the states around us, especially in West Europe and in the south of Europe. Next slide, please. Yeah, so now the big question, why bio-based? So is it just a buzzword now? It's just like a marketing trend? And here we can say, no, definitely not. So we are working in the bio-based field now since a very long time. So, and we do have a company aim also. And the company aim here in this case, it's existing since almost 10 years now. And that's reducing the dependency on fossil resources. So the reasons for this, I don't need to explain you here, but that's also why we can see now that the bio-based is one part here of the solution, supporting also here our aim to become climate neutral, where we're also setting our goals now, we're signing the SBTs, where we also have figured out that bio-based materials can have a positive impact also when considering the carbon uptake on the plant's growth. Yeah, and again, it's for us like also the starting point for the circular economy and complementary to recycling. When people are asking, well, why you're not only using recycled materials, then we are also saying, yeah, but for somewhere they just have to have a starting point. So every material needs to have like a starting point where it's been created until it's been recycled in the end. And that's why for us it's important in our circular vision to start really on the beginning with a renewable feedstock and looking in the end that the product is also able to be recyclable, to also having them in the best case like a bio-based recycled material. This would be like the best case for us. So to undermine it, we have also set our material goal or VAUDE materials goal. So by 2024, we are pursuing that over 90% or at least 90% of all VAUDE products, so all the VAUDE products, shall have a bio-based or recycled material content of more than 50%. Why not higher? We have spent a lot of time to investigating what is technical possible, what is also theoretical possible. And as we have a really broad portfolio of different kind of products, where on some products it's very difficult to have right now alternative material in form of bio-based or recycled available. That's why we are here a bit careful of not having too high targets set, but still achievable. And those are still, I would say, challenging for us. Yes, next slide, please. So what have we done so far on now focusing on the bio-based achievements? we have made. So in the case study, which has been made presented by the BioSwitch Consortium, you have seen our green shade core collection, which we have launched a few years ago to just show what is actually possible at that moment. And we've also here introduced first bio-based items on the market, especially first bio-based polyamides on the textile market. And now with the years, we have expanded our portfolio. So looking here a bit, so what you can see on the upper picture, so you can see the feedstocks we're using. So on the upper left, it's a castor oil, what we're using. And here we're creating bio-based polyamides out of it. So the special case is also that we're working here directly with the chemical companies together to looking what are available bio-based polyamides. And then we have tested also all the available different bio-based polyamides and have seen, okay, what is the performance of it? So what are the properties? And where really does it make sense to use them? In which kind of products it makes sense to use them? Where can we just play also like a performance benefit? Because only to say it's bio-based and sustainable, that's for us not enough. So we need to have like an extra USP because the price is quite high. And here also we can show to the customer then also it's not only sustainable, it's also better performing. And I guess that's also like the novelty on it. So here we introduced in the textile area for the first time ever, those bio-based polyamides. So basically based on out of polyamide 4.10 and polyamide 6.10, but also different ones we're having in the portfolio. Yeah. And then the next one is a sugar cane. So I guess that's the classic. So the bio-based polyethylene. Oh, sorry. I am running out. Yeah. The bio-based polyethylene, that's kind of a classic, but we implemented in the bike bottle for us. And that's also not that new, but we made the whole bottle completely out from this bio-based polyethylene. So our, let us say, with bio-based components out from sugarcane. So not only the body or the cap, but also the mouthpiece, which is the thermoplastic elastomer. Also here, we made here for the first time ever, we implemented here sugarcane into it. And the last one is out from the coffee residues. So used coffee grounds where we put those into the fabrics, but also into a membrane. So to displace also, or to replace here also a polyol with this one. And having here also then the same performance as the conventional membranes we're using, and having here also a bio-based content of about 25%. Yeah, next slide, please. So that's what we have done in the past so far and what we're still working on. But to going one step further, we are also a project member of the Effective project. So it's also been funded by the bio-based industry joint undertaking. And yeah, we are developing here with a multinational consortium, the world's first 100% bio-based polyamide. So it's exactly in the end, hopefully the same properties and the same recyclability than a conventional polyamide 6, but out from 100% sugar beet harvested in Germany. Yeah, next slide, please. So the challenges and opportunities, of course, this is not that easy to switch that easily from fossil to bio-based. So I would say one of the biggest challenge we also have in our industry to our customers is the communication. So to just also explain, so where is here the benefit also? And there are coming more and more questions up. So what is the feedstock? Is the feedstock sustainable? What about the harvesting and so on? So there are many more points we have actually to dig in and also to giving answers to it. And the good thing for us is that we can trace it from the farm to the final product. availability in the end is, of course, an important thing. So it's not that, so we cannot replace right now all existing plastics with the bio-based plastics because availability is not here. One of the reasons is also the economy of scale and the price. On the counterpart, on the opportunities, we do have here a possibility to going really away from fossil resources, reducing our environmental footprint, finding new properties with the new novel bio-based materials. It's about storytelling also to the consumer. And in the end, we see there is a customer demand, that the customer, they want it, but they often do not really understand it. That's why communication is a really important part. So, next slide. So I guess it's also one of my last slides. So how are we working in the end? And that's also a bit different, I would say, than to most of our competitors. We really going here as a collective approach throughout our entire value chain. So we're not talking only to our fabric supplier or to the spinning mill. We're really talking also even to feedstock suppliers, to monomer companies, also with one monomer company from the Netherlands, which is making succinic acid. We have also a really nice success story to implementing here a bio-based TPU into footwear, where it's all started with this monomer company, so with a succinic acid supplier, and where we then went over to the polymer compounder, and then to the next part. So it's then step by step, and that's also why it's important for us is to have this very close connection to the chemical industry to see what is actually possible, what is technically possible, and then trying to implement it into our, in this case, the textile supply chain, but also in the, I would say, value chain we're having for our plastic injection parts. Yeah.
End of last year, we launched plastic-free and PFAS-free food bowls for takeaway. And today I will speak about our journey in developing these products and also some of the things that I believe has been of importance for us in order to succeed. My name is ANNICA and I am Sales and Marketing Director for Formed Fiber at STORA ENSO. In Formed Fiber, we produce packages directly from pulp. Next slide, please. At STORA ENSO, we believe that everything that's made from fossil-based materials today can be made from a tree tomorrow. We are part of the bioeconomy, and we are a leading provider of renewable solutions for packaging, wood products, biomaterials, and paper. We have around 25,000 employees in 30 countries, and in 2019, our turnover was 10.1 billion euro. STORA ENSO is one of the largest forest owners in the world. And for us in Formed Fiber, this means that we can control everything from the tree, the raw material that we use in our products, until the final package that we sell to the market. Next. So if we look at a lot of the food packed and consumed today, the products are being packed in packages that can withstand and hold much more than they actually have to. And this was one of the challenges posed to our team. If you go, for instance, into a takeaway salad bar and you buy your salad in a package, you eat it and then you dispose of the package. The time from when you purchase the salad until you have consumed it, it's often just a matter of a few hours. So our challenge was, can we develop and design a product that is developed only for its intended purpose? No more, no less. Next slide, please. So we started the production and the work knowing that in order to succeed, we had to work together with partners in the whole value chain. And early on, we connected with one of the leading packaging distributors in Scandinavia, STORA. And for us, when developing the food bowls, it was very important to early on understand the requirements and demands from the market. And some of the requirements brought forward was that the products had to have lower climate impact than current alternative single-use products on the market today. The products should be free from plastic, and the background for this demand was the legislations coming in place, and also we see discussions around packaging taxes, but also a market-driven demand. We see that consumers are becoming more and more aware of in what kind of packaging material the products that they buy, what kind of packaging material that's being used. There are formed fiber products already on the market. And in order to achieve grease and oil resistant properties, sometimes PFAS is being used. And this is a chemical that has proven to be harmful for the environment and for the human body. And there are a number of discussions ongoing in many countries today around these type of chemicals. And for instance, last year, Denmark decided to ban packaging containing these chemicals. So when we started this project, it was important for us not only to develop packaging free from plastic, but also free from PFAS. Next slide, please. I just want to say a few words about the collaboration in the value chain. So it was very important for us to early on connect with STORA and to understand the final demands on the packaging. And together with them, we also developed the specific design. What should the actual bowls look like? We also thoroughly together planned all marketing material and go-to-market strategy. One of the larger challenges we faced was actually to achieve the proper grease, oil and water barriers needed without using PFAS. And here we have been working closely to HS Manufacturing Group. It is a company who has a patented solution. It's a plant-based additive that can be used in paper and pulp technology to achieve the barriers that we needed in this case. And during the thorough collaboration with HS Manufacturing Group, we've been able to take their additive and to develop the technology and the production process in order to use these additives in our own production to produce and launch products that are free from PFAS. So I would like to highlight and emphasize how important the collaboration in the value chain is in order to succeed with this type of launches. Next slide, please. End of last year, we launched our first products together with STORA. And some of the benefits that I want to highlight is that they are free from plastic and PFAS. They are made of renewable materials, recyclable in paper waste stream. They are food and hygiene safe, and are made in Sweden from Scandinavian trees. We have launched these products under the Pure Fiber by STORA ENSO brand, and the brand reflects what these products are, made from fiber, pure fiber. Next, please. One of the things that early on was highlighted to be of importance was the climate impact of the products. And here, STORA has been working together with RISE, Research Institute of Sweden. And I really want to highlight this initiative. It's really, really nice. It's a tool where a restaurant owner can easily see the climate impact of the package that they are about to buy, and they can easily then compare the climate impact of different alternative packages. And what RISE has done is that they have scientifically evaluated a large number of different products that are on the market today in single use. And they have evaluated these in 4 different categories. They've been looking at the material, they've been looking at transportation, circularity, and also the energy used in production. And they rated each product in each category, but also then given the product a total rating. And we're very proud and happy to see that they have rated our pure fiber products with the highest rating, 5 out of 5. Next, please.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Well, thank you. And I think while now building, so in a little bit more than a year's time, we've managed to build a factory in Sweden, in Hylte, where we now produce final ready-made packages for the takeaway industry. And I think that with this project, we've proven that Stora Enso's long experience and knowledge in paper and pulp technology, together with collaboration with the right partners in the value chain, that we're able to launch totally new products to the market. And to summarize, pure fiber is our response to the challenge of creating the next generation eco products designed only for its purpose. And the salad bowls, it's our first products to the market, but I would say that the journey has just begun. Next, please. And therefore, I would like to finish by inviting you all, whether you're a collaboration partner, a customer, a supplier, or perhaps a future employee of Stora Enso, to join us on this exciting journey. Thank you.
Yeah, we are BIOCO. We are a small organic artisan coffee roasting company from Belgium, near in the south of Brussels. And well, we only do organic coffees. So we are the only coffee roaster in Belgium and Luxembourg, only producing organic products, mainly coffee. We have some other products as well, but we still are a coffee roaster. We do 100% organic, but 100% Arabica coffees as well. So it's also a quality product. And we roast our coffee beans on a slow roast process, guarding the taste to a maximum of the coffee. Our slogan is BIOCO leaves nothing but great taste. That's what we try to do. That we don't want to have a lot of packaging, but sometimes you need packaging to transport the product. But there we still invest in a lot in bio-based packaging. From the beginning, as we were a pioneer in Belgium about 4 years ago. We were the first coffee roaster using bio-based packagings. Next, please. Our motivation to initiate or step up to bio-based, well, we did it from the beginning of starting our company, as it was part of our DNA. We not only produce organic products, but it's for us it was very logical that we also packed them in a ecological way. So for example, our coffee bags that we use exist of 82% bio-based material. It is not possible for us for the moment to have 100% bio-based, as we have to guarantee the freshness of the product of the coffee for about 12 months, and therefore we use a sort of aluminium film. So that's why we don't have 82%. Also, the valve, who is needed for the coffee bag to breathe, to degas the coffee, is now for the moment also in plastic, but we are going to have a new bio-based valve. So I think we will go from 82 to 90% bio-based material. We also have bio-based, biodegradable capsules. Those are 100% bio-based and are very unique in a way that they are also airtight, because that was the biggest challenge of all, to have a film that was compostable and also bio-based for 100%. And that was something that we found in Holland with a company called Bio4Pack, who helps us with the development of our packaging. Yeah, we also invest in other ecological products. So not only our packagings are bio-based, but also we use cardboard tape. We have biodegradable filling chips for exporting products, and our export labels are also biodegradable. Next, please. What have we achieved in bio-based? Well, we have switched all our packagings to eco-friendly material, bio-based material. In retail packagings, we only have one B2B packaging who is still in plastic, but that is something that we are attempt to switch. Our near plans, well, as our slogan is BIOCO leaves nothing but great taste, we also want to have no packaging and free package delivery to coffee shops and packaging free shops who are booming in Belgium for the moment. So there we try to have no packaging. But that's by delivering in plastic reusable tons, in fact. Also, we will launch in the near future a range of new organic products where we will pack in bio-based materials combined with cardboard materials. And of course, there's a continuous search for new materials to reduce our carbon footprint. As the market evolves very fast, we see that what we do today is the maximum that we can do today. But tomorrow there will be new packagings in bio-based materials, and then we will upgrade those packagings. Next, please. The main challenges that we are faced, of course, the huge costs. We are a small company, and to give you an idea, in the packaging, we have about 30 to 40% of the total costs of our product goes to packaging. So this is a huge cost for, as we don't have the scale to buy a lot of material. That means that we have 1/3 of costs in our material. The knowledge of materials. I'm an economist, and so it's not always easy to know all of the technical details of the packaging. But we have a good partner in the materials, as I said, Bio4Pack, helps us a lot with choosing the best material for the moment. And another challenge we have is that it's not always the best material to pack. It's the best ecological material. But sometimes you see in that competitors have better looking packagings in plastic, but okay, it's a choice. But also in handling the packaging and sealing it is not always the best material. So it has to be, we have to have a lot of research in what is the best way to seal a product, for example. Next, please. So the key elements for success, we believe that after 4 to 5 years of having the bio-based materials, that we have to go for persistency in going that direction. And it's really not a small step. It's really a big step from the beginning, as it costs a lot. And also it's very difficult to for the communication to the consumer. The persistency is also the way we have to go. I think in a circular economy, it has the more and more companies that join that way of working with bio-based materials, the more the communication to the customer, for example, will be broadened. Also, the greenwashing, I see it now that less companies are greenwashing, but most people are really believing in the bio-based materials. As I saw 4 or 5 years ago, there were a couple of multinational companies who were investing in some bio-based materials, but it was more like marketing than it was for a good reason. And that's a good switch that I see for the moment. So profitability is important, but cannot be the only goal of a company. So I would suggest to every company invest in that way of working. I know it's difficult to communicate to the customer, as we tried also research in store, where we asked our customers who bought our product that they know that the product was bio-based, and it's printed largely on the packaging, but people didn't notice it. So that's a little bit difficult to really do the communication to the customer. Certainly when you're a small company and not, we are not advertising on national TV or radio. So we were pioneer 4 years ago, but less people, there are not a lot of people who know that. So, but okay, it's the more bigger companies that do it, the better the future will be. And then the 4 P's of, everybody knows people, profit, and planet, but above all, we want to have a purpose as a company. And for us, that's the 4th P. What is our purpose as a company for, in nature, in the world? So we believe very strongly in that 4th P. Yes, next please.
Hi, my name is Mark Matthhiasen. I'm CEO of DANTOY, a family business located in Denmark for more than 60 years. We are plus 50 employees in our factory. Everything is produced in Denmark and has always been produced in Denmark. As it says from our company name, we are in toys, and we have like sand and water toys, role play products, all kind of toys for the age group 0 to 6 years old. And we have around 400 articles in our assortment. We have like a split of our business, like it's 50% for retail and 50% for educational market. And in the educational market, we are probably the most known brand worldwide due to our quality in our tools and in our products, meaning that they can last in strong environments for a long time. As it says on the slides, we export to more than 50 countries around the world, and around 80% of our revenue come from export. So yeah, we have a big footprint all around the world. So please, next slide. Dantoy have always been a sustainable toy manufacturer, you might say. I believe that you are not a sustainable producer from one day to another. It's a long journey that takes a long time. So when we go back in our history, we could see that we got rid of PVC in the 70s, long before that was banned within toys. We got like ISO certified up amongst the environment in late 90s. And we also, as it says here, have the Nordic Eco Label. The Nordic Eco Label is a certificate where it looks on the entire product from production until recyclable phase, and also look in the chemistry of the product. We were the first and still is the only one who is able to carry this kind of license on our products. So that we are very happy about. On that journey, I talked about sustainability. For us, it was natural in 5 years ago to start a project looking on what could be an alternative to a fossil-based product or fossil-based raw material. And that was when we started the project to look into which kind of biomaterials do we see in the market. And it was a tough job to find a suitable raw material, because we tried with corns, we tried with leftovers from this animal disposals, with potatoes, etc. But none of that had the strength of a toy which has to be played with 100 kids a day. But we ended up and found something suitable for us. Some of you have already mentioned it, sugarcane. And that's the series we launched and brought to market in 18. And yeah, so yeah, please move on. The key elements in our green line is that it comes from sugar canes. It's 90% bio-based, and that the farmers we use the sugar canes from is under control landlords, and it's far away from the rainforest. All the sugar cane we use is from Brazil, and the sugar canes farms we use is 200 and 500 kilometers away from the Amazon's rainforest, which has been very important for us. It's also important for us that you cannot like take this sugar cane and eat it. So it's a leftover product from the feedstock we use for our products. So you cannot go by the verses that food for toys. We don't like that saying. So it has to be like something we cannot eat, which we use for toys. It has the same product lifetime, and it's 100% recyclable. And the packaging I'll show you on the next slide is also like the entire universe about our bioplastic line is that we use a sugar cane for 100% recyclable, and then also the packaging is made 100% from recycled material as well. So please move on. And this is just some pictures of this of our different products. You see in the middle the boxes I talked about. They're coming for recycled carbon material, paper material. And when we got to the market in 18 with our sugarcane line or bioplastic line, there was no bioplastic alternatives in the toy industry on a big scale. So what we thought of as one of the inventors in this sector was that put a lot of effort and a lot of space on the packaging to tell the story about what is sugarcane, because it's so different. And there was also somebody earlier talking about greenwashing. There's a lot of greenwashing out there. So we believe that it's very important for us to be a transparent company and tell exactly what's the story of our BioLine in order to get the consumer to understand what they are buying. Yeah. So please move on. And actually all this effort paid off last year when we came second of the most sustainable toy manufacturer in Europe, which we have never been able to compete up against before. So the consumers have received it very, very well. As I said, we launched it in 18. 42% of our turnover today comes from a sugarcane product, which is quite successful. As it says here, it has exceeded the expectations of Dantoys, and then also the honor of being runner-up as the most sustainable player within toys. We are very happy about, since we are a small company located in Denmark. Yeah.
Congratulations on that as well. Yes, it's amazing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and the next one, please. So what do we see as the main challenge? And some of you have also touched that before. It's actually the supply. We could do more in bio-based, but right now we are holding back because the material is simply not out there. There's simply so many switching to bio-based products, but the supply cannot meet the demand at the moment. So from that perspective, right now we are holding a little back, but we are also certain when we move a little further in a couple of years, there will be more and more supply and more players in the market. Of course, the price is also a lot higher on the bio-based than the fossil granulates that we use. But again, it's a completely other story. So I believe that if you are good enough at telling your story, how it's different, you will also be able to sell the product at a much higher price. And the reason we don't have like 100% bio-based is the coloring. We use some master batch for changing or making the plastic have some kind of colors, and the players out there for master batch have a limitation about which kind of colors can you use and how can you make them, and that's a little difficulties from our perspective, because in our range we use like the fashion companies to see which kind of fashion colors will be next, and then adjust them to our toys. And many of those colors you cannot mix in a bio environment. So we really hope that there's some suppliers or some suppliers out there today who can be able to take that challenge up and make it like a broader assortment of master batches. That will definitely help, not us, but all in the sector, I guess. And next one. Yeah, you can say, what is the success? Because like when you have a plastic plant, a manufacture plant that we have, you have a lot of money invested in tools and machinery. So one of the most important part was that the material we found in 2016 could run on the same tooling and machinery, because otherwise we would have to buy a new plant in order to get that running. And of course, it also, since we make toys for kids, and we have a very high standard of like what we accept and what we don't accept because of the Nordic Eco label, it has to have the same strength, because one of our USP is the long shelf life of our product. Like if you buy a shovel, it's probably 10 or 15 times more expensive than the one you buy in China, but I'll guarantee you it also lasts or can last 20 to 30 times longer than the one you buy in China, because the quality of the product is simply much better. So the quality of the product was very essential to us, and that's why we could not use bio-based from corns or for potatoes, because the strength of the quality was simply not there. And of course, one of the biggest issues probably right now is the stable supply of the bio-based granulates, because the demand is peaking so much at the moment. Yeah.
So Alhóndiga La Unión is a family business dedicated to the exportation of vegetables that has been evolving over these years, and it has become a model for commercialization of fruits and vegetables. They are the first company worldwide in cucumber commercialization. So here are some figures. I think that perhaps you cannot see them very well because the text is in gray actually. So I can tell you that they annually produce around 400,000 tons of product. From this amount, 100,000 tons are of cucumber. This is why they are the first company worldwide in the commercialization of this product. Around 70% of their production is sent to the European market. So perhaps you are consuming fruits and vegetables from La Unión. They have around 1,000 employees, and they act as an umbrella for more than 3,000 farmers because they are a group of cooperatives actually. And finally, they have around 25 locations in Spain. So in the next slide, Anna, please. You can see that La Unión is fully committed with R&D activities. They really believe that is the key action in order to evolve, in order to become more competitive and sustainable. And in fact, they are very committed to smart agriculture. They try to implement this kind of technologies, not only at the farming stage, let's say, but also during the collection, processing, and then during the retailing and trading stage. So next slide, please. This way, they have selected three main lines of research where to conduct research actions. The first one is the use of clean technologies in the horticultural production. There, for example, they take care and explore possibilities for using renewable energies and that kind of issues related to clean technologies. And one of the key R&D projects is the More Than Clean project. The second line is how to have a more value added for the biomass resources. Here they have the project BioVG and also the AgroHealth. As part of this project, the new biopackaging materials were developed. I will explain more about this later. And finally, we have a third line, which is new bio-based materials to obtain for post-harvest quality. And here, the main projects that they have is BioVG again, and they are starting a new project, which is called VEGEPAT. So next slide. And as I was saying, BioVG is one of their most awarded projects. In fact, they have received the Best Innovation and Entrepreneur Project in 2017 by Ecoembes. Ecoembes is the Spanish organization for recycling. So it's a very, very popular prize. And they also have received their Innovation and Sustainability from RED 2018 by Expansion News. Expansion News is a very well-known newspaper here in Spain. And in the frame of the BioVG project, they have valorized agricultural waste, like, for example, coming from watermelon production, in order to produce some additives for biopackaging production. So in the next slide, you can see the main materials that have been produced in the frame of this project for biocompostable packaging. And first, they produce materials for the flow pack. Flow pack is the plastic that covers the cucumbers, as you can see in the picture. So with this bio packaging for the flow pack, they have achieved a new material that is able to wrap these cucumbers and with the required transparency, because you know that sometimes for bio-based products, transparency is a aspect that is really, really important for the consumer. And they also have improved the preserving conditions. They have ensured, as I was saying, an optimum transparency for these materials, and also an optimum permeability for oxygen, because when we talk about biopackaging, it's really, really important also to ensure that the products will reach the consumer in the best way possible.
So here's the first slide with the lessons learned and some conclusions. Bio-based materials are a way to reduce a product's and therefore a brand's and company's impact on climate change. This is something, for example, we learned from VAUDE, but also from others. And the use of resources, while also improving technical attributes. Yeah, keeping the functionality of the product intact is a key message we heard across many of the presentations. The traditional thinking that a sustainable product delivers lower performance might therefore become obsolete. An issue mentioned by Mark from DANTOY is the requirement to be compatible with existing processes, especially for the smaller operators. Investing in a new product line is a very high expense. Therefore, compatibility with existing processes is key. For a small company, we have, for example, BIOCO on board today. Being the first mover adopting a bio-based innovation can offer advantages, especially in terms of strategic decision-making, supplier collaboration and pricing strategy. However, it is certainly not easy to be a first mover, a first bio-based innovator in the industry. And that's something I think we heard from a lot of our presenters today. The fifth conclusion is that the bio-based transition journey can support company staff in opening their minds to developing new products and working methods. Maybe it was not that mentioned often today, but I think it's highly relevant. Yeah, it helps an entrepreneurial mindset also with your employees and company staff. I think Annika from STORA ENSO mentioned indeed that being a sustainable producer is something that can also make you an attractive employer. Next slide. Bullet number 6, to succeed in developing and deploying innovative bio-based products at commercial scale, collaboration is key. Well, I could have put collaboration in key capitals here. Without collaboration within the value chain or even beyond the value chain, I think you're simply not going to make it. It's too complicated, too challenging to achieve something without such collaboration. Brand owners can take the advantage of the growing trends among and the awareness of consumers for sustainable products. But communicating the story is not easy, and the road ahead can be long and windy. Next bullet is that an open mind, an entrepreneurial spirit, I would say persistency, even more than motivation, is our key. It is important to be consistent and not give up, stay focused, be patient, and be aware of problems and opportunities. And if your motives are greenwashing, then you will not come very far. And I'm really glad to hear that several of today's speakers indeed mentioned that this is the case. And last but not least, the best practice case studies are proof that despite the many barriers and challenges, a transition to bio-based is possible. A transition may be a long journey, it may come stepwise, but there are certainly a lot of possibilities. And yeah, we've had a widespread of products and packaging illustrated today. And I think this is evidence that these possibilities and opportunities to make a transition are almost everywhere.